And then here you have the shrinking palate. So many kids have to wear palate expanders, and
Yes. Yeah. And when it comes to malocclusion like this with a vaulted palate, and I see this, it's almost the norm now, unfortunately. Growing your face is kind of like growing a muscle. If you want to grow a muscle, you need proper nutrition and you also need the proper stresses of that muscle. If you just eat well, but you don't move the muscle at all, it's not going to grow as it should. If you move the muscle, but you don't have the right nutrition, it also is not going to optimally develop. And so our faces, notably the maxilla and the mandible, the maxilla is the top jaw, the mandible is the bottom jaw. And many people, myself included, are underdeveloped. And a root cause issue of that is malnutrition, meaning we're not eating enough meat mostly, and we're also not chewing enough. So we're not chewing enough meat. Breastfeeding versus bottle feeding also plays a big role in this. And because of various dynamics in play here, it often will lead to mouth breathing, which will exacerbate the whole issue.
It's interesting looking that picture right there with the soft palate. That child clearly can't lay the tongue up onto that palate like they're supposed to.
So we have the top jaw and the bottom jaw, and we need them to basically fully develop. And if they don't, we have 32 teeth that are trying to come in, but there's not enough room for them all to come in. So they start just coming in wherever they can. And that's what leads to crooked teeth in a majority of the cases.
So poor diet doesn't give us the needed nutrients to properly develop our jaws. Then the teeth don't.
From a child health perspective, I would have the main course be meat mostly, and you eat that first. Okay. And then as long as we get that down, you are ahead of 99% of people. The second thing I would talk about is for parents, mental state is all the kids I'm around is all they talk about is snacks. When's the next snack? When's this? When this? And it leads to behavior issues and conversations like they don't want to eat the rest of their dinner because they know the sugar's coming after. Set a line in the sand and be like, all right, if we're going to have desserts, we have it on this day at this time in these foods. So it's not just a constant battle. So kind of the two things.
It could be something as delicious as you can take ricotta cheese or cottage cheese and put a scoop of chocolate protein or strawberry protein, which is amazing. But just take an immersion blender and whip that and throw it in little custard containers. And it really is like a very nutritious, healthy dessert.
Children have immense growth demands, but they don't eat immense amounts of food yet. So they need to make every bite count. And I think if parents have that in mind, they're like, okay, we need to get the most nutrient dense food into your belly first. So that's mostly going to be the red meat. It's going to be eggs. It could be some dairy, but it's going to be like animal products. You could throw some other plant products in there too on top of that.